G'day you beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at my rework idea for Khaimera. Before we get into the video, disclaimer time. I try to be as inventive as possible when it comes to these rework ideas. However, in a lot of cases, changing things that are great in a character's kit just doesn't make sense. Also, in some instances, I may borrow ideas from other community members because those ideas are just plain better than what I can think of. My reason for this is that I want to create the best possible version of a character, so I don't see a problem in borrowing a very good idea and giving someone props for it. All heroes are going to be given a passive in these reworks, and they will also receive quests. Quests are objectives that are given to abilities. Upon completion of these objectives, the ability receives a buff. I will be attempting to balance these quests buffs based on the idea that a player always has their passive quest available and chooses one of the other 3 quests per match. Finally, just so that I don't have to reply to this matter in the comment section, yes, I know Paragon has been shut down. I am making these rework videos for 2 reasons. 1, I love Paragon and miss watching Paragon content on YouTube, so I want to produce something for other people that feel the same way to watch on YouTube. Number 2, Unleash Games are working on their own version of Paragon that will be using assets made available by Epic Games. With that said, let's get started. So Khaimera is a bit of a tough character to rework in my opinion. I have an opinion on Khaimera that isn't just my own and potentially upset some people. Khaimera can be a godly character in lower skill brackets, but when it comes to higher skill brackets, he can struggle to make an impact. Khaimera is a character that is built around punishing out-of-position heroes, which is something that is not as common in the higher skill brackets. He is a bruiser that relies on health regeneration gained from continuously attacking enemies. The problem with that is that at higher skill levels, teams can and will instantly shut him down. Is that a problem though? Is it bad to have a character that is strong in lower skill brackets but weak in higher skill brackets? I don't personally think so. So let's get into it. Basic attack with a power scaling of around 0.7 considering he's a bruiser, and 20% cleave because he's a melee hero. For his passive, I'm going to use his existing passive, Spirit Regeneration. Khaimera gains 0.9 to 3.6 bonus health regen for 2 seconds each time he lands a hack, ambush, or cull attack on an enemy. It stacks 25 times. So this is exactly how the passive worked at the end of Monolith. Numbers are the same. It resulted in a possible 93.35 health regen per second when you include his health regen at level 20 and the bonus from Spirit Regeneration. Personally, I think it could be buffed without being a problem, so we'll do that via the quest. After regenerating 10,000 health, health regen on hit is increased by 50%. This means that at max level, instead of granting a bonus 90 health regen, it will cap out at 135 bonus health regen. Keep in mind that I went with 10,000 health because I figured that the average player would reach that at around 10 minutes, but I could be definitely wrong about that. It may need to be more. Also, could be definitely is retarded. That said though, players that are more aggressive will potentially have more health to regen and therefore get it done sooner. For his first actual ability, I'm keeping Ambush. Kai leaps to a target enemy hero, dealing ability damage and applying a 24 to 36% movement speed slow. Kai is granted 3 stacks of Spirit Regeneration upon activation. The only changes I made to this ability is to slightly increase the cooldown and to reduce the movement speed slow, but we're going to buff the slow with the quest. After ambushing 20 enemy heroes, movement speed slow is increased by 50%, and Khaimera gains 6 Spirit Regen stacks upon activation. So this quest would increase the movement speed slow back to what it used to be at max level, and it doubles the stacks he gets from activating it. Next up, you have Unleash, another returning ability. I'm actually not suggesting that this really changes at all. I think it's great. So upon activation, hack attack speed is maxed out for the next 5 attacks within 3 seconds. hack damage scaling is reduced to 70 to 100% during these attacks. So I suggest that the quest be, after dealing X amount of damage, have no idea what to set that at. Damage scaling is increased by 10%, meaning that instead of 70% at level 1 and 100 at level 4, it actually goes to 77% and 110%. And Khaimera gains 2 spirit regen stacks per unleash hit. So, we've made the actual attacks of the ability slightly stronger, while allowing him to get 10 stacks over those 5 attacks rather than 5. The damage and stacks are great, but I do think that this buff is balanced against the bonus stacks and increased slow from ambush. For his third ability, we need something new to replace spirit regen. I once again took inspiration from Mr. Sylphan and his rework idea for Khaimera, which I actually really enjoyed. So we have spirit form. Khaimera becomes one with the spirit realm, becoming unstoppable for 1.25 to 2 seconds and gains 5 spirit regen stacks upon activation. So he'll be immune to CC for up to 2 seconds, but the ability will need to have a relatively large cooldown, so I'm suggesting maybe 12 seconds, maybe more, maybe 16. My thinking behind this is that it's just too easy for a single hero to stop Kai when he does start to punish an out of position hero. Kai will need to use this at the right time though, however. Using it at the moment you jump on a carry, for example, will mean that the support just has to wait 2 seconds before they can stun you. It just gives him a better chance of punishing people, in my opinion, and that's what he's about. He's supposed to punish people, so giving him a way to negate someone, stopping him from punishing someone that was in the wrong, they shouldn't have been there, they deserve to be punished. We need to make it easier for him to punish those people. So for the quest I went with, after securing or assisting in 10 enemy hero kills, duration is increased by 25%, and spirit regeneration stacks gained is increased to 10. So now we have 2.5 seconds of CC immunity, and we get 10 stacks when you start it up instead of 5. Apologies for my voice, by the way, I'm really not feeling well. So now we have passive health regeneration and the ability to buff it. And we have 3 abilities that allow him to punish people as he should. And we have 3 ability quests that slightly buff the actual ability itself, while also buffing his passive health regen. So it's just, kind of an endless circle. No matter what you do, whether you're completing your passive quest or an ability quest, you're making it easier to get stacks. You're making it easier to get that health regeneration up, which I think is kind of important. So finally we have Cull. I've chosen to buff the damage of the ability based on the hope that ability damage and basic attack damage are being kept separate. I don't remember what was said about that. So Cull will deal ability damage, so I don't think buffing the damage, when most people, if they do build damage at all on Khaimera, will go for basic attack damage. So, they're not going to gain extra damage on this ability based on the basic attack power that they put on their build. Also chose to increase the spirit regen stacks that you gain from 6 to 10. But apart from that, the ability is exactly the same. It's a cool ability, locks people down, does some damage, and pushes anyone apart from that enemy that you're targeting away, which is, it's a good kit. His kit basically is good. The problem that you have with Kai is that, if you look at it in a way that you want him to be balanced across all skill levels against all other characters, it's just not going to happen. You kind of just need to get to the point where you realize that he's going to be good in certain scenarios, and he's really, really good in certain scenarios, and that's fine. So that's my idea for Khaimera. Excluding the new abilities, it isn't really a huge change, like I said, but I don't really think it needs to be. I would love to hear your opinions, though, so leave them in the comment section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're not already. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Love your face. Catch you in the next one. Peace.